Do you want to be able to level quickly while also being able to push the highest content in the game? Also while doing AoE like fire and having a single target damage like a necromancer? All while being able to do super fast clears and maintain CC on mobs, so that way you can output the highest damage possible, as well as maintain a large amount of mana resource or essentially infinite mana. Then I got the build for you. What's up, World Streamer? Back in the video and to check out all things Diablo 4. Okay, so let's just jump right into the build, but before we jump into the actual build, if you want to be able to find builds quickly and find unique, different designed builds, then check out today's video sponsor. Mobalytics is an insanely intuitive and innovative app that lets you deep dive into an incredible amount of useful tools for all your build creation needs. And this free application, and yes, you heard me right, it is completely free. This app has helped me so much with my build creations and comparing and contrasting different statistics. I was able to find incredibly interesting and different unique builds compared to mine, and even got to try out Crypt's ultimate fire sword. I love being able to glance over at my stat priorities and build priorities just right within the game. And you can download the app with my link down below completely free, which will enter you in a free giveaway of Statue of Inarius and Lilith, as well as 10 Diablo 4 collection giveaways. Thank you again to Mobalytics for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's just jump into the build guide really quick. I'm going to go over these kind of fast because I need to cover everything, but we're going to go into Frostbolt and then we're going to go into Enhanced Frostbolt. We have to take these two. We're not going to be using our auto attack after a certain level, or at least once we get Flame Shield adjusted and we have a mana cost reduction. We'll move on to here, we're going into Ice Shards, and then we'll go into Enhanced Ice Shards, and then as well as Destructive Ice Shards for the vulnerability. We are going to skip Devastation and Elemental Dominance, and we're going to pick those out later. Come down to our second board, or third board here location, and I would go into Glass Cannon if you can handle the damage. If you can't handle the damage right away, I would go into Ice Armor. And then we're going to grab Enhanced Ice Armor. We don't have to grab Mystical Ice Armor yet. We can kind of leave that on the board. In fact, we can avoid that one forever if we want to. However, I'm going to take it for now. Glass Cannon we want to pump out. We also want to get Frost Nova. As soon as we get Frost Nova, we can try to maybe to go into Elemental Attunement. However, I'd probably skip this one for now. We're going to pump out Frost Nova and go into Enhanced Frost Nova and then go into Mystical Frost Nova, which is absolutely insane. We're also going to come into Teleport, and we're probably going to skip Flame Shield for now, especially if we're leveling around 30, 40, and 50s. I think you can get this build pretty active then with that auto attack, as you will be kind of mana starved, but you won't be eventually, and you'll see why. We're going to go into Enhanced Flame Shield, and I also do like to take Mystical Flame Shield. However, this I might take a little bit later on. So we'll come down into here. As soon as we can, I would grab Align the Elements. While you're leveling, if this is unlocked, I would grab this. We're also going to skip Precision Magic for right now, unless we're trying to reproc our defense abilities and we have this all set and go. Then you can pump into here. But I would skip it for now and come into Blizzard. Once we're pumping out these other abilities here, you'll pump these out to get to here. We'll come into Blizzard, pump out Blizzard. We'll go into Enhanced Blizzard. We'll also go into Mage's Blizzard, which is absolutely insane. We need to grab one on Icy Veil to grab these, but we need to grab Snap Freeze, which is really good. We also need to grab Cold Front and pump those two out. Come down to our second to last board here. We're going to pump out Permafrost. Same with Icy Touch. Fully max out Frigid Breeze, and then Hoarfrost. As soon as our passives unlock. So we don't have to pump these out right away, but just to get here, as soon as our passives unlock, we want to grab Avalanche. Absolutely insane Avalanche. We really, really need this one. This is going to go great synergy-wise with the rest of our build. Okay, so let's check out our character really quickly. We'll go over each gear slot. I'll explain to you which ones are kind of a necessity, which ones you can kind of swap out, and which ones I've been toying with. So first up, Barrier. I do think this one's really, really good on this gear piece. I would take Barrier, and also Max Mana on the helmet. It's really good too. Next up, we have the chest piece. This is the gain 45% armor. This is insane. I would use this as well. The only thing on this piece that I had kind of probably wrong is the cold damage, and damage might be in the same bucket. However, I'm still experimenting with that, and I'm going to leave it for now since this piece is up to like over 2 million on rerolls, and I don't want to keep spending on it. Next up, we have this one is absolutely incredible. Probably one of my favorite pieces. I have Primary Resource Chance and Lucky Hit Chance for life. These are absolutely insane, and Lucky Hit Chance in general. And the Ice Shards, these are really good, but what we want to worry about is the deal 25% increased damage while you have Barrier active. This we might actually swap onto our Amulet, which our Amulet has deal 47% damage to immobilize, stun, or frozen enemies. That might be swapped out. We also have mana cost reduction on our Amulet. Absolutely insane there. I would go for that because it's going to pump that 50%. Next up, we do have take less damage from crowd control enemies. This one is probably one that you could swap out. Really don't need this one, and I might experiment taking it out later. For now, I'm going to keep it, so I leave it in there. Next up, we have the increased crowd control duration, and you deal more damage when the mobs become unstoppable. We also have some mana cost reduction here. I would try to look for some mana cost reduction on at least 2 to 3 pieces, as well as those primary lucky hit restore chance. I would try to get that on at least 2 to 3 pieces as well. Next up, we do have another increased crowd control when you're healthy. We also do increased critical strike chance against injured enemies. Absolutely insane in my opinion. Really good pick. Next up here, another kind of must-have, but more so that it's just a really good piece, whereas you freeze an enemy, they have a chance to become vulnerable for 3 seconds. This one's really good for our damage, as we're going to be building a lot of vulnerable damage. This one's absolutely insane for that. And then second to last up here, we have the Avalanche Key passive. This is a must-have. This is going to give us 2 clear cast procs. If you don't know what clear casting is, it essentially allows us to cast for free. This one is absolutely insane for us. We do need this one. And then this one is the most controversial, as it does have ice spikes on it, and most people are taking ice shard piercing. However, I literally cannot switch it out. I want to do some testing with it. It's my best offhand. It's 811, but the game is bugged, and I literally cannot reinspect it, or cannot even rechange it. If you look, even the ice spike roll is lower than what it says. It's like completely bugged out. I don't even know if it's working properly, although I do see my ice spike, so I do kind of know that it's working properly. This one, I might switch out for that Pierce Spikes legendary if you really want to. I want to experiment with it. I can't switch it out. It's my best offhand, so I'd have no idea how to compare it with damage-wise. Hopefully Blizzard fixes this. Also, anytime that I set my transmog, which you'll see here, I have my transmog really quickly just to showcase what's going on with this bug, because I want Blizzard to fix it. If I move an item in my inventory, my transmog removes. Same with my horse transmog. It's really annoying. I don't like the book look, so I have to come in here constantly and reapply my transmog. It's super annoying, so I hope Blizzard fixes this piece or whatever's going on with that. Yeah, let's go on to the Paragon board. We're going to talk about it really quickly. I'm going to have the whole Paragon board in the description down below. Now, I'm going to recommend some leveling glyphs. This one first, Enchanter, I'm going to recommend as it does non-physical damage. This one we're going to use probably even into endgame. It's going to do awesome damage. It increases our damages across the board, so I'm using it. Next up, we are going to come into Frostbite. Now, you might not want to use this one. I do have this one leveled, as I wasn't really prepared when I was first leveling. In around 70s, I was using it. This one's decently well, so we'll use that with some willpower here. But we can easily take these out and change it out, and what we're going to do, I'll showcase the endgame Paragon board that I'm going to do another build-up guide or update for when I hit level 100. For now, we're going to take Frostbite in here. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take Tactician. This is going to help our rare nodes here. And again, this is I really like how I did the Paragon board here, is we're able to kind of come back through here and retake out of some of these points. All the points around here are pretty much interchangeable, and then you can switch those out. Eventually, these 3 Paragon boards are all going to use Dexterity in these little sections here, and I'll showcase what the endgame Paragon glyphs are. But we will use Tactician. It's going to give us the first bonus boost right away. We don't have to level any glyphs. It's going to give us the highest boost at level 1. Same thing here. We're going to use Adept while we're leveling. It's really good for mastery skills. It's going to help our Blizzard out a lot, but we're going to switch this out eventually. So here's our endgame Paragon board, and again, I'm going to do an updated video once I have my character level 100 and I also have my rep done. But we'll come into here, and we are going to take Enchanter on that first one. We are going to take Exploit for the second one, so we're going to swap that out for Exploit, and we're going to take some Dexterity notes here once we swap off that Willpower. We're also going to come over to here, and this is going to be Destruction, our critical strike chance. Again, we have this one kind of set up and ready to go on the current Paragon board. We kind of have that Dexterity there. We need to pump out as much Dexterity as we can for this. And then last but not least here, we do have Control, which is increased damage against crowd control enemies. Really will help out when we're doing a lot of packs, but it's also going to help for bosses when we stagger them. Again, we're going to try to pump out that Dexterity. I will update this build a little bit more once I'm level 100 and we are more into the end game, and all of our glyphs are level 15, or at least the ones on the board in use. That should be covered for most of the build. And again, I will update when I'm level 100, as I currently don't have my reps all done yet. So I really want to update once I have that extra 20 Paragon board stuff. I just want to showcase the leveling stuff that is really going to help you out, in my opinion, while you're leveling. But that is what I covered for today's video. If you like it, and subscribe. And to the next one. Deuce.